Hi, I'm Sharon McRae, and I thought I'd show you a little bit about a new piece of equipment that I just got for my kitchen. This is a piece of equipment from the company Mealthy, and they make the crisp lid that I talked about on our Facebook page recently and also on my Eat Well, Stay Well page. And that turns your pressure cooker, any kind of pressure cooker, including the Instant Pot, into an air fryer by putting a separate lid on it. This is their version of the Instant Pot. It's called the MultiPot, and it's an electric pressure cooker and has several other features, which we're about to find out. I just opened it for the first time. This is the 8-quart model, so it's pretty big. I have a family of 5 to feed. And this is the information that comes with it. It's got an 8-quart user guide and a recipe book and a quick getting started, which I'll do in a bit. And just opening it, the first thing that I see is that it comes with an extra gasket. And this is one of the pieces that you may have to replace over time with use of the Instant Pot, for example. And the Instant Pot doesn't come with one, so it's nice that they give that to you here. And then let's see what we have. It's a pretty heavy pot. Good thing I work out. Okay. This is what it looks like. It's actually very similar to the Instant Pot, and my understanding is it also has a stainless steel insert, just like the Instant Pot. And interestingly, it has, instead of the valve being silver, I think there's some models of the Instant Pot, this valve, this pop-up valve, is red. And my understanding of this is that when it pops up much higher than it does on the Instant Pot, so you can see it from across the room. So just taking a quick look at it, some of the features, some of the buttons that are on it are poultry and meat, which we would never use, beans and chili, soup broth, rice, multigrain, porridge, and then we have pressure cook, slow cook, saute, steam, egg, which we wouldn't use, cake, which we'll probably never use, and yogurt, which I would make soy yogurt. And then it has similar keep warm, delay start, and pressure level, so you can vary the pressure level. And it has a cancel button, of course. And my understanding is that this has a display very similar to the Instant Pot Ultra, where it shows a graph that shows you where you are in the cooking process, whether you're heating it up or cooking at pressure or coming down. So let's see, the lid seems to open by turning it counterclockwise. It has that really nice feature that the Instant Pot has also of being able to put the lid in the handle on the pot. And then when you open it up inside, we have the same paddles that you get, the same spoons and the little cup that you get for cooking rice and grains. And it looks like, oh, you get some silicone, little silicone mitt, which is a very nice accessory to have. 2 of them. That's a very nice accessory. And talks about the measuring cap. Okay, and then, wow, this also comes with an insert, which appears to be a steamer basket. Oh, that's really nice. And it has a trivet, which the Instant Pot comes with also. This is a really nice accessory that you can use for steaming. And then, like the Instant Pot, the insert is also stainless steel. So, it's nice and big. And that's about it. Otherwise, it looks pretty similar to the Instant Pot. It just seems to me that it comes with a few new accessories. So I'm going to take a break now and get started and prep a recipe, and then we'll set it up and show you how it looks when you are ready to cook. We'll be back shortly. Okay, so we're back, and I thought I'd show you, I'm about to set up the recipe for my Indian red lentil soup, which is on my website, eatwell-staywell.com. It's actually a recipe that I got from Susan Voisin on fatfreevegan.com for Middle Eastern red lentil soup. And I adapted it by just adding more vegetables to it, but otherwise it's the same spice blend, which is all these delicious spices. Usually what I do is I have the spices pre-measured. I learned this trick from my dear friend Chef AJ, and I keep my spice jars that are empty, recycle them by putting them through the dishwasher, and then set up a bunch of these spices with all of the spices for this soup in it, because we make this soup a lot, but this time I didn't have one, so I went ahead and measured them. So what I did is I plugged the Mealthy in and I pushed the saute button, and you can see there's a display here that shows it's starting to heat up. It's coming up to, it's warming up, and I'm assuming that once it's hot, it's going to say hot, which is what the Instant Pot does. So we'll see. what happens. So we're gonna pause right here and we'll show you when it gets hot. So you can see now the MultiPot rather says hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my vegetables, and I just put them all together. This is garlic and onion, cauliflower and carrot. You don't have to do this step, but the original recipe called for sauteing the onions and garlic, so I'm gonna do that just a little bit just to show you what the saute feature is like. So I haven't added any liquid, and you can hear that the water is starting to come out of the vegetables, and they'll start to cook themselves a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna let them cook for just a minute, and then I'll go ahead and add the spices to them, and then the rest of the ingredients. So I also wanted to show you by comparison, this is the 8-quart Instant Pot, and that's what it looks like side by side. So they're pretty similar in size. And this is the 6-quart Ultra. So you can see the display looks very similar to the Mealthy MultiPot. Okay, so sauteing the vegetables a little bit. I'm not really concerned with how well they get done. Just wanted to check out the feature. I'm gonna go ahead and add the spices in. The nice thing about the saute feature also is that it starts to heat the temperature of the pot, so presumably it will take longer for it to come to pressure once you actually turn it on to pressure. I'm just gonna mix this around a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of my ingredients. So I've got some dried mushrooms. Just crumbled those up. Add about 2½ cups of red lentils. I made a little mistake and I added the wrong spices in. I added in the parsley and the sumac, which is supposed to get added at the end. So we'll add the right spices now, and if we have to, we'll tweak it a little bit at the end. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add 7 cups of water, and this is preheated water because it's late here and I wanna get dinner on the table quickly. So I usually use hot water if I can, because again, that's gonna shorten the time it takes to heat and come to pressure. And then after I've added all the other ingredients, the last thing I'll add is my tomatoes. The reason I want to add the tomatoes last is because if you add them first, oftentimes they'll stick to the bottom of the pot and they'll keep things from coming up to pressure. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is a jar of jovial diced tomatoes, nothing in here, just organic tomatoes and tomato juice. I'm going to go ahead and lay that on the top. I'm not going to stir, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the saute feature. I'm just going to hit cancel. I'm going to put the lid on, turn it clockwise. It makes the same noise as the Instant Pot. And then, let's see, pressure cook right there. And I only need this to cook for 10 minutes. I'm going to use the down button for the minus button and get 10 minutes up here. Oops. And then it looks like that's all I have to do. Let's see if it beeps at me like the Instant Pot. Yep. Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna hit the keep warm and turn it off so that it doesn't stay on the warming cycle. So at the end of 10 minutes, we'll come back and I'll probably do a quick release on this soup, even though I usually like to do a natural pressure release, which means you let the pressure come down naturally. Like I said, I'm in a hurry because it's late and we haven't had dinner yet, so I may go ahead and just release the pressure and show you how that looks. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, it looks like the Mealthy is coming up to pressure. There's some steam coming out. The display is saying that it's preheating. Push down on the lid a little bit. Oh, there we go. So if I push down on the lid, you can see that the valve pops up. Okay, so the MultiPot finished cooking. The pressure came, or the display went off because we had turned it to keep warm function off. And so I'm going to go ahead, because this cooked for 10 minutes. It's red lentils, which only take about 4 minutes to cook. So I cooked it extra time. So I'm going to go ahead and release the pressure. And I'm going to do that by moving this valve forward. This is the sealing valve. I'm going to move it forward. Let's see, the steam comes out. You always want to make sure you don't have your hand or your face over where the steam comes out. Obviously, it's very, very hot. And you can see that the pin is still up. And when the pin drops, that means all the pressure is released and I can go ahead and open the lid. So we'll see how long that takes. While we're waiting for that to release, I just wanted to point out these two labels that came with the MultiPot. So this one says, wobbly vent handle, steam emitting from the vent while coming to pressure, that's good. Your MultiPot is functioning properly. And this one talks about the fact that they give you a separate gasket because if you're making savory things and sweet things, you don't get the flavor of one into the other. So that's a really nice feature. I have to say this came up to pressure really, really quickly. I'm very impressed with how fast it came up to pressure. Just about there. All right, there we go. So the pressure's out. Now I'm going to go ahead and open it. Again, you don't want to keep your face too close to the lid because keep in mind this is still boiling. So it's going to be very, very hot and release a lot of steam. Go ahead and hinge that. And then I'm going to do what I like to do a lot, which is add the greens directly in. I add raw greens directly into my super stew, and the heat of the super stew cooks the greens to just the right amount so they're not overcooked. And you'd be amazed at how much the greens shrink down. This is just one bag of the Trader Joe's California or organic Tuscan kale, which we use a lot in our soups and stews. That. You can see how quickly that's shrinking in volume. I like to add a lot of greens because greens are the healthiest vegetable you can eat. So I'm going to go ahead and add some spinach in as well. So all in all, I think this works very similarly to the Instant Pot. It might have heated up a little bit faster, but in fairness, I had less volume in the 8-quart than I normally do when I use this larger Instant Pot. So it's hard to tell unless you really do a side-by-side, but I'm pretty impressed with it so far. It seems very similar. Only difference between this and the Ultra is that in the Ultra, when you seal the lid, you don't have to move the valve in any particular direction. In this one, you have to make sure it's in the correct orientation to seal. So that would mean you have to move it back like the older models of the Instant Pot and move it forward when you're ready to release. Whereas in the Ultra model, as soon as you close the lid, the valve is automatically sealed, so you don't have to worry about that. But it did have the display, which showed me exactly where it was in the cooking cycle, which is very nice. I love that feature on the Ultra. And that's about it. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed. I think this is a really nice piece of equipment, and I would say if you can get it for a good price, it's certainly a nice alternative to have for a multi-pot cooker. So I do have a code to share. Right now they have Amazon Prime deals on the Mealthy, and I don't know exactly what they are, but check it out before Amazon Prime Day ends tonight. And otherwise you can get it on the Mealthy website, and if you use code EWSW for Eat Well, Stay Well, you'll get $5 off and free shipping. So I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email to Sharon at eatwell-staywell.com. Thanks for watching.